What's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video. I've got some Slurpuff action for you today, along with Azumarill and Ferrothorn in the Fantasy Cup Great League Edition. So here is the team, a team that I found some success with, and this first battle starts a little bit into the battle, so sorry about that. But we led Azumarill into Escavalier, and, you know, this team, it's not the safest team because you're awfully weak to like steel and fire in the back. However, this team was a thing. It was developed based off something I've learned in the history of the Go Battle League is sometimes you just kind of read a meta and you see you're seeing a lot of the same lead, a lot of the same back line, and you come up with a line that just tries to kind of hard counter what you're seeing often, and that's how this line came up. So I don't know, maybe if you guys are seeing similar stuff to me in your elo range, whatever it may be, this team was kind of designed to hard counter what I was seeing, and that was specifically like Flygon and steel leads with Azumarill safe swaps in the back, and then Slurpuff is kind of just there as a versatile safe swap. If there's not like a Turtonator, the Slurpuff is really safe against most things with that energy ball and flamethrower coverage. This game is actually still a little bit awkward because the Escavalier has energy, and this Tapu Fini is ahead on energy against our Slurpuff, so it's not over yet. You're going to see how much an energy ball does. It does super effective damage, but it's not going to be enough to completely knock out the Tapu Fini. So one key thing I did was I waited out my switch timer, and now we might have an opportunity to go for the catch, and just as they get to the move, we catch the Surf, and that should pretty much secure the victory here for us, because now we can simply fairy wind down the Tapu Fini and have a flamethrower ready for the Escavalier. Also, at the time I'm recording this, the Packer game is over. For those that don't know, I'm from Wisconsin. I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, and they just decimated the Dallas Cowboys. I actually live in Dallas now, which some of you I'm sure didn't know. I still like get people that don't know that. But yeah, moved here like 2-ish months ago, and it was funny. It's funny being in Dallas where it's Cowboy Nation and you're a Packer fan, and you're all excited. The Packers had such a good outing and such a good game today. They're going on to the next round of the playoffs. But I'm sure some of you guys are big football fans, American football fans that follow me. Some are probably like, Rise, get back to the battles. So Wims. Doing Whims's thing. It's like I said, a really solid safe swap in this meta if there's not like a Turtonator. With this current move set, I'm running Flamethrower Energy Ball. You hit most things for at least neutral, if not super effective. However, I do think there is merit to running Play Rough over Energy Ball, because if you run Play Rough over Energy Ball, then you have play against Turtonator, and you still can hit the water types for neutral. So you might drop like the Azumarill matchup running Play Rough, I would think, but you then have play against Turtonator where you don't get hard walled. So in this situation, we learned out Wheezing, and we're going to go for like a full bubble down. If I have to take 2 sludges, I'm willing to do that because I want to get this out of the way for my Ferrothorn in the back. So let's see how this plays out. Another sludge coming through. This Wheezing putting in a ton of work against our team, to be honest. This team is a little bit soft to a Wheezing, especially if that Wheezing is running sludge. So, but I do get the farm down. This Ice Beam is going to threaten the Whimsicott. So I land the Ice Beam, I swap in Pharaoh, and immediately I notice they're not swapping out. So they don't have a hard answer to Pharaoh. At least it doesn't appear that way. They're going to throw a move. It's a Moonblast that is resisted, and in comes Dedenne. And Dedenne is going to really struggle against our Ferrothorn here. I go for the Power Whip. Power Whip does some big damage. Maybe I should have just gone for the Flash Cannon. Maybe that would have one-shot plus the Bullet Seed damage. Kind of debating when I want to use my final shield here. Denne's only one off the next discharge. But based off the damage that first one did, I feel like I don't necessarily have to shield here. Now Dedenne is dry, and I make a mistake here. I throw after 2. The reason was I just wanted to double up, but I'm actually not going to live... I'm not going to live the Thundershock that snuck through. So now I'm forced to shield the discharge. I'm just going to throw this Ice Beam to get rid of the Whimsicott, and as long as there's no damage registration error, we should get the bubble down. We need 3 bubbles to KO. 1, 2, 3 bubbles KO. and Azumarill is able to close. And we win a nice game where we had a tough lead Azu into Whims, but not like a terrible lead. Just kind of a soft loss of a lead since we have that Ice Beam coverage. And here we go. This is exactly the type of team I was seeing, and why I designed this team the way it is I was seeing so many Flygon leads and so many Azu save swaps on the first day of this meta. So finally, we see the team that we're trying to counter. Hopefully we can close this out. It's also running Hydro Pump, which is even better for our Pharaoh. Hopefully there's not some sort of Core Breaker in the back that will Core Break our back two Pokemon. One Core Breaker could be Registeel, right? There's probably already been a comment, Rise, what do you do against Registeel? I think we see at least one Registeel in this video, but Reggie is certainly a Core Breaker for this team. Flash Cannon connects. The reason I went for Flash was because I figured he wasn't going to shield since he knows there's an Azumarill waiting for him, and he needs to save the shield for the Ice Beam. He does get a farm, so you could argue maybe I should have just gone for double Power Whip anyway. And here it is. Here's the Reggie. And I know Slurpuff is my only mode of taking out this Reggie. So I'm actually willing to eat a Zap Cannon and then go, just to make sure this Reggie is relatively dry on energy before I swap Whimsicott in here. Dude, I keep saying it. Slurpuff. I'm so used to running Whims. We've run Whims a lot this season. So now I keep saying Whims. It's Slurpuff. Slurpuff is pissed right now. Like, how disrespectful, Rise. You're confusing me for that little thing, Whimsicott. He's like, I ain't no Whimsicott. And Slurpuff throwing the flamethrower here, going to try and chunk away at Reggie. Does get both shields. So now all shields are going to be down. And because we are debuffed, flamethrower is not going to do as much. And we just have to be patient here to not allow the catch of our flamethrower. And we should be in a pretty good spot here, because the awkward thing with Reggie, right, is you're not dealing much fast move damage at all. And we've already got him just about in flamethrower range. We have a flamethrower loaded, so there really is no more win con for Reggie. They have to like try and come out with a charge move and then hope we lag. That's kind of their win con. So what you're going to see the opponent do here is undercharge the Focus Blast, but he undercharges it a little bit too much, where he realizes the game is over. And that is a G to the G. Yeah. Azu, Slurpuff, Ferrothorn. Cool team. I noticed the Ferrothorn. I chose like a cool little graphic for the Ferrothorn. Looks a little bit cool compared to the normal sprite that we normally use. Searching for that next opponent. We're at 3,050 ELO range. And by the way, if we have any fellow football fans in the comments, let me know which team you're rooting for in the playoffs, or maybe if your team has been eliminated already, or if they're not in the playoffs. Let me know either way. Azu into Escav. Solid lead for Azumarill. We're always going to be willing to take the first, because what you don't want to have happen is shield and acid spray bait. Some of these Escavaliers are cheeky, and they're running acid spray, so we're always going to take the first. Gonna go for the Play Rough here, but I did build up to Hydro Pump. And if you're wondering, Rise, why no Hydro Pump? Honestly, I think you need Play Rough for the Azu Mirror in this meta, since Azu is very common. And then Ice Beam, Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump probably is the way, to be honest, since they're steel. But I'm just going for Ice Beam, I guess, because it's a quicker move. I've always been more of an Ice Beam fan. So we get both shields from the Escavalier, and now we're going to swap in Slurpuff. Slurpuff doing a little bit of a wiggle, feeling kind of confident, perhaps. I'm aware of the potential catch, so I don't throw instantly. I wait for him to swap, and we're able to Energy Ball the Azu here, and we get the defense drop, which is pretty lucky. So I'm going to be able to charge move priority here on the second Energy Ball, and because of that debuff, this will knock out. Azu probably would have barely lived without that debuff, so definitely fortunate on my side. And now let's see if Escavalier comes in, if something else comes. It is the Escav. And here I'm going to lose CMP, but I'm actually willing to shield. And the reason being, that little chunk of health is going to be really tough for my Ferrothorn to Bullet Seed down. So I feel like I kind of have to shield to get off this flamethrower. What's in the back? It's a Flygon, so we should be chilling here. Shadow Flygon can make this matchup uncomfortable for Ferrothorn if shields are up, but since his shields are down, we're chilling here, and we're just going to Throw the Flash Cannon, which should one-shot from this range. Flash Cannon, very hard-hitting move. Boom! Knocks out the Shadow Flygon. And Ferrothorn doing his thing. I say that a lot. Doing his thing. What does that even mean? I don't know. I still like it, though. I still like it. We get the win. On to the next one. And there, oh, first look. First look at a Turtonator in this video. And it's a shiny one. And luckily, this Turtonator is where we want to see it in the lead. Our backline very much struggles with Turtonator. It's a fire dragon type. They swap Azu, and like, this is good, obviously, but also it's kind of bad because they're just going to incinerate down my Ferrothorn later, and it has me wondering, did they try to lure out the grass type? Are they ABB to grass, where I need to preserve my Pharaoh, but at the same time, I can't really preserve the Pharaoh because I have to keep my Azumarill aligned with the Turtonator. So when I win this matchup, I'm not going to be able to give up switch. I got to just let myself get farmed down here. Wish I would have undercharged that more. Still kind of getting the hang of the undercharge with Ferrothorn on Azu. But as you see, this power up's coming through. It's double resisted, so I'm not going to do very much at all. We come in with Azu. He is going to store a move, and we come in with the Puff. And this is pretty good, because double super effective flamethrower should be enough to knock out Ferrothorn from pretty much full health. So we're just going to overfarm here, throwing on 4. Eventually, we're going to have to expend shields, and the one tricky thing here is that the switch timer is eventually going to come up, and the Turtonator has a move stored, so we need to be aware of that and not allow ourselves to get combo played by the Turtonator here. Slurpuff draws the final shield. Ferrothorn's going to get off its final move. I have to shield because I need this flamethrower to get rid of it. And here we just have to make the call that they're going to instant swap. And that's exactly what they did. And he actually did an incinerate too. So I guess even if we waited, we probably would have been fine. And going to throw the Play Rough here after 3. Ice Beam would be... Oh, no, actually, they'd both be neutral. Play Rough also hitting for neutral because it's super effective against Dragon and resisted against Fire. They're going to get off another move here. I just have to be a little bit careful that I don't somehow allow myself to get bullet seeded down to a point where he gets too much energy. But either way, Slurpuff should win the charge attack priority if the game functions well. And he gets a few bullet seeds, but we have the flamethrower loaded. He wasn't quite at the move anyway. And Slurpuff sticking its tongue out. Sticking its tongue out, winning in style. Also, we talked a little bit about football. Basketball fans, Damian Lillard, Dame time, buzzer beater 3 in overtime to beat the Sacramento Kings tonight. What? Oh my gosh. And then the Lions snapped a 30-year playoff drought, or winning a playoff game drought. Unreal. Shout out to the sports fans in the world. This was a great day in sports. Great day for Wisconsin sports as well. Shout out Wisconsin. Anyway, Azu versus Flygon. This matchup surprisingly uncomfortable for Azu when shields are in play, because look at how much that dang Earth Power did. And that Earth Power outpaces the damage of my Azu. With this team, I do feel the need to like lure out a potential Turtonator if it's there, or maybe like a Registeel. There wasn't one there, and now we see an Azu come in, so now I'm thinking, okay, this is kind of good. Gonna land the energy ball. No defense drop that time. Gonna go for another energy ball here. Will the Azumarill let this go? They do indeed let it go. Excuse me. And now we're gonna decide to let this go. I feel like I kind of want to keep my shield for that Flygon. Otherwise, that Flygon's gonna be kind of scary. And I'm going to go for a potential catch, and I get the catch here on what I'm hoping is an Ice Beam. I keep that move banked on my Slurpuff, which could be really useful in the end game. But I do switch lock myself against a Ferrothorn. But keeping that Flamethrower banked is going to be really handy here, since that'll one-shot the Ferrothorn. The opponent is going to commit to a full Bullet Seed down. They're willing to take an extra Ice Beam to get this full Bullet Seed down. But little do they know, I have something in the back that can just totally absorb all this energy from the Ferrothorn. So it actually works to my benefit here. If he had actually taken out the Azumarill before that second Ice Beam, probably would have been in a little bit of a better spot. But now we can just absorb all this energy. And I'm going to make sure to overfarm here simply so I have energy to threaten that Flygon. What I don't want to happen is to use all my energy and then Flygon comes in and I don't have any energy to threaten it. So I go all the way to 100 energy. Power Whip is 50 energy, so that's double Power Whip loaded. Thunder connects. This should knock out his Ferrothorn, and we have a Power Whip plus an Energy Ball loaded on our Slurpuff. I'm just going to throw instantly. He gets denied, so a little bit unlucky by him. He should have gotten a move through there, but don't think it would have changed the outcome as he decides to just let it go. And that is a G to the G. So maybe he actually didn't get denied. Maybe he just stopped tapping. Who knows? Who knows these days? Who knows these days? Searching for the next opponent. I need to look something up right for 1 sec. Dude. I am so embarrassed. Azumarill has 2 L's. I knew something looked wrong. I need to have a serious chat with Editor Chris. This is unbelievable. What should Editor Chris's punishment be? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. I was looking at Azumarill. I'm like, that doesn't look right. How could Editor Chris possibly misspell Azumarill? It's only been like 100 times we've probably featured Azumarill on the channel. Such a beast. Anyway, unbelievable scenes, but Slurpuff doing its thing here against the opposing Azu. They come in with Sandslash, which is kind of perplexing because I have Flamethrower here, so I'm going to be able to at least grab shields. And we're going to dance around a little bit. I'm willing to take this move because I should live anything coming from the Sandslash here. So we take the Drill Run, going to throw the Flamethrower here, and then probably look to dip out because we don't want to just needlessly give the Sandslash this extra farm. Okay, kind of weird. Why did I wait? Like, okay, this is like, I know this is like really tedious, but if I just, a little mistake here. So I throw the Flamethrower. One thing you want to do, this is a big tip, you want to cue that switch immediately. So like I should already be tapping the Azu, but I'm going to tap the Azu too late, and that's not going to give me a 0-turn swap. It's going to give me a 1-turn swap instead. So just dumb misplay there. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys might be wondering, like, wait, what do you mean by that? But, yeah, Azu going to have to absorb some damage here from Slash. I have a Play Rough loaded. I'm not concerned about fainting just yet, so I'm willing to do another bubble here. But I might just throw my Play Rough instantly here just to make sure I get it off. Not 100% sure if I would live 2 Shadow Claws from that range. So Play Rough comes through. Looks like I wasn't going to live the second Shadow Claw, so I made the right call there. But this is kind of an uncomfortable amount of health on the A-Slash. It's a bit of a tough Bullet Seed down. And oh no, there's a Mawile in back. There is a Fire Fang Mawile in the back. Oh man, that is tough. That is tough. So, bit of a core breaker in the back. Gonna beat both of our, gonna hard beat both of our Slurpuff and Ferrothorn. And the Mawile gets the better of us. Well played by the opponent. I think that was like a 4-1 set, though, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I can drag forward a little bit. We get a Spheal, and we climb to 3,070, it looked like. Nava Empire, the next opponent. Shout out to India. Terrific battler from India. And we see Azu into Escavalier. Going to see a lot of the same leads in this meta because it's only 3 typings, right? It's only Dragons, Fairies, and Steel. So, fairly condensed meta. And like we talked about earlier, this trainer decides to Acid Spray first. That's a good thing we don't commit any shields in this matchup. Play Rough connects. And now it should be an Ice Beam range. So let's see how I play this. I assume I'll just take the move, go for the Ice Beam, but maybe be careful of the catch. So we get off the Ice Beam here. If they shield, I might be willing to dip out to not give him this counter down. But he just lets it go. Comes in with Hack, so I'm going to have to let myself get farmed down here because we cannot afford to have Ferrothorn matched up with Haxorus. I come in with Slurpuff, and oh, I'm starting to remember this game. This thing goes literally as bad as it could possibly go. We let a Surf go through. We knew it's possible he's running Surf, but we decided not to shield. Now I'm going to shield because I kind of need Slurpuff around to take out this Haxorus, and he Breaking Swipe baits me. Then I go for the Energy Ball here. Energy Ball and Flamethrower, I believe, do the same damage for the same energy, so just doesn't really matter which one you want to go for. And then I let it go thinking maybe he'll Breaking Swipe bait again, and he surfs, and now this thing's going to be way too healthy for my Ferrothorn to comfortably deal with. So literally played that situation as bad as I possibly could have. I no-shielded the Surf, I shielded a Breaking Swipe, and then I no-shielded a Surf. I made 3 incorrect 50-50 calls in a row. And now going for the Power Whip here. Now we're just trying to see what's in the back if possible. And I'll probably throw my Power Whip here. If he decides to catch it, like, that's fine. We're going to lose anyway. But I just wanted to see what's in the back to see if we like played that better, if we would have had a chance to win this game. And what's in the back? It's an Azu. So yeah, I think so. I think if we had played that Haxorus matchup better, maybe shielding the first Surf, I think we would have had a good chance to win the game. So misplayed there. Looks like 3090 actually is the elo, so pretty good. Probably in the top like 200, 250 or so on the leaderboard. I can actually take a quick gander what the leaderboard's at. Next opponent, what do we got? Flygon with a hat. Flygon looking stylish. Black Billie Eilish. I don't know the lyrics to that. But here we go. The team working as designed. Flygon lead, Azu save swap. See that team so often. So maybe I should go back to this team because I actually saw that team again today, to be honest. Yeah, number 1 on the leaderboard is 3293. 3090. Oh, put us a little higher than I thought. Put us about top 100 on the leaderboard. That's pretty good. Going to go for the Power Whip. Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay. Power Whip knocks out Azumarill. We've got extra energy for this Flygon. Going to go for the Flash Cannon this time just because I don't think he'll shield since he wants to save the shield for Azu's Ice Beam. Now I'm going to be willing to let this go. Could be Registeel in the back. Could also be Ferrothorn. We've seen that line a couple times now. But it's a Wheezing. So a little bit weird. And it looks like I'm just willing to stay in here with Azu. Maybe the plan is just stay in with Azu for as long as I can. Get some shields and then go into Slurpuff. Where should I put the emphasis in that word? Slurpuff? Slurpuff. I think Slurpuff sounds more natural. But Slurpuff sounds kind of cool. Kind of exotic. Going to do one bubble. Throw the Ice Beam. And now I assume he'll shield. So then we'll dip into Slurpuff after. Slurp. It's not quite in Flamethrower range, but it's getting pretty close to Flamethrower range. I'm going to take the first Sludge. We just have to be a little bit aware of the potential catch on the Flygon. As long as we don't allow the Flygon catch, I think we're in a pretty good spot. So we're just going to be patient here. I'm going to wait a turn. I see the Fairy Wind animation starting, so then I throw the Flamethrower. I have to react fairly quickly there. They do live with 1 HP, but Slurpuff's going to farm down completely. And that is a G to the G. Shout out to Slurpuff. By the way, I was thinking lately, maybe I should be a little bit more savvy with the whole businessman thing. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. But I am sponsored by Rogue Energy. I'm a big energy drink guy. 0 sugar, 0 calories. If you're looking for the boost, check out Rogue Energy. Code RISE for 20% off. Anyway, Slurpuff against Dedenne. Battle of the Fairy types. Because I'm behind in this matchup, it's not great. Also, the fact that Dedenne just outpaces anyway isn't great. So Slurpuff going to try and do its best here. Energy Ball connects, does some big damage. But as you see, double discharge plus all the Thunder Shocks adding up is basically enough to knock me out. So going to shield. I want to try and get a shield down from Dedenne. Don't want him to come out of this matchup too healthy. And we do get a defense drop there, which is kind of nice. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, I played out the ones. Maybe I can just Bullet Seed down here if he lets me go from there. So I come in with Ferrothorn. Dedenne going to fire off a Parting Charge move for some chip damage, but everything is resisted here on Ferro. So not going to do too much damage. Play rough will chunk. In comes Komodo, and it's running Poison Jab. Yikes, dude. And the fact that he was willing to let Dedenne go tells me he probably has another Azu answer. So I go for a catch. I'm unsuccessful, and this game is just over. I don't think there's really any win con this game other than, like, if I had swapped directly into Pharaoh, maybe that was a win con. But at this point, it's Pharaoh on Azu. It's Pharaoh against Komodo with a ton of energy. So, yeah. Was that a Hakamo or a Komodo? I forget. My bad if it was Hakamo and I said Komodo. Poison Jab, man. Poison Jab's kind of crazy. Kind of makes sense, though, when there's so many Azumarill and Fairy types, I guess. So, yeah. Poison Jab does kind of make sense. Azumarill into Magnezone. Get in the zone. Magnezone. Tough lead, but we're going to stand for now. And as you see, the bubbles are, like, pretty oppressive against Magnezone. So I'm actually going to be willing to throw Ice Beam and then may try to go for a catch on a move. I swap into Ferrothorn. Unsuccessful on the catch, but they're actually going to expend energy anyway. And they Mirror Shot me for some reason. Well, they get the attack drop, so that works out for them. They're going to expend more energy, so it seems like they don't have an obvious answer to Pharaoh. Wild Charge does hurt. And now that he's debuffed, the Power Whip's definitely going to hurt the Magnezone. It's resisted, but Magnezone's super glassy. I grabbed the final shield. That's pretty nice. I decided to call this, thinking maybe he'll Mirror Shot me and I'll live. And that's exactly what happens. And I get off a Parting Power Whip, and all of a sudden, this situation looks pretty good for us. And because of the flexibility of Slurpuff, I decide I'm going to come in here with Azu and just hope that 2-shield Slurpuff can carry me to victory. Azumarill, gonna take these charms. I did lag a turn here, so unfortunately, I would get, like, denied if I was to go to play rough. So I actually just settled for the Ice Beam, thinking that, okay, I put it low enough where Slurpuff can farm down, and hopefully 2-shield Slurpuff can just close out this game for me. We get the Fairy Wind down. Magnezone is still there, so going to have to shield a move. I know this is a Mirror Shot. Mirror Shot is super effective. It'll still hurt my Slurpuff. So going to shield this up. We don't want to allow a catch, and he did get the attack fell, I believe. So that is a little bit concerning here. That is a little bit concerning, because now we're going to need 3 energy balls to knock out Azumarill. Going to need 3 energy balls. I went like over 100 there. Not ideal. Energy ball coming through. But now we should be chilling. So do I go for something fancy? I think I might go fancy here. Yeah, I go for the catch. Let's go, baby. We go for the catch because in my head, I was thinking either I get the catch, or if I don't get the catch, then I just win CMP anyway. So it was kind of a low risk, high reward, because now I can overfarm even more and just guarantee that I'm going to outpace this Magnezone to the move. If I threw quicker, I wasn't sure if Magnezone was maybe 2 away from a Mirror Shot and then wins the game if I did that. So a nice little catch to win in style to end the game, and Slurpuff gets us top 100 in the leaderboard. Apologies for the Azumarill typo. The graphics like on the screen, so I kind of have to leave it. So apologies there. You can roast me if you want in the comments, because all comments help out the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Like the video if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it. And all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.